1 plus 1, still 2, right?
Well, that's right, Tallahassee. 1 plus 1 still equals 2. This is Tim. This is Online Big Blue. This is New York Giants Straight Talk. Coming to you live, coming to you funky, coming to you fresh, coming to you from the basement on another rainy day. Gonna get back to doing on-screen videos probably in the next couple days. Just working on a little bit of things in the office, doing a little construction here. So we will be getting to that probably later in the week. We also have a new sponsored, our partner video coming up as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Big breaking Giant news. Andrew Thomas. What is it? Is it really breaking Giant news? Because we all knew it was going to happen. The New York Giants, as of this morning, picked up the fifth-year option on Andrew Thomas's contract. The move, of course, is going to now guarantee Mr. Thomas $14.175 million for the 2024 season. It was a given. 6'5", 315 pounds, out of the University of Georgia. He has been a stalwart the last 2 years on the New York Giants line. I mean, he's protecting the blind side of Daniel Jones. He is a guy that, like I say, when he came into the league, there was certain Giant fans, I'm not going to say whom, that were like, we should have got Mekhi Becton. We should have got this player. We should have got that player. And then I laugh because Andrew Thomas had a down year because of an injury, potentially poor coaching, and we were all going to get rid of him. Some people wanted to get rid of him. I said, you got to give him a chance. You got to give him an opportunity. Go back and watch the videos. And then he starts to slowly progress into a better player, then into an all-pro. And now these same Giant fans that wanted Mekhi Becton have short-term or long-term memory loss that's now say Andrew Thomas is the greatest player ever, and they wanted him from the start. Liar, liar, pants on fire. But that's all right. We're gonna leave that alone. I mean, he is a linchpin of the Giants line. He is. If you take a look at the Giants line right now, there's undoubtedly he is the best offensive lineman that we have. Is he the best left tackle we've had in a long time, in years? Oh, hell yeah, and he's getting better. At the age of 24, he is getting better. He is getting stronger. He's getting faster. Well, maybe he's not getting faster, but he's getting stronger. He's understanding his technique. He's becoming that pivotal player that we all thought that he would be, or some of us thought he would be when we drafted him in 2020. And it gives the Giants some flexibility in going into next year that we know that we have your all-pro left tackle locked up for another season until we need to figure out exactly what we're going to do with him and what we're going to pay him going into 2025. It's interesting. This is interesting, though, and I've talked about this. I've talked about the fifth-year option before, and I said that I wanted to trade back with the Giants in this draft because of the fact that I thought there was talent in the that was going to drop in this draft into the second round because of the fact that with the run of quarterbacks in the beginning, it was going to push down some of that talent. So you were going to get some guys that may have gone in the top 15, the top 20 in the latter half of the first and second round. And it was going to save you some cash. And I said I understood dropping into the second round was going to have you lose that that fifth-year option, but it was also going to save you $1 million in salary cap situation. And everyone always says, well, you know what, with those first rounders, you need that fifth-year option. You need it. And if you take a look at Andrew Thomas's draft class, I find it funny. Potentially, there could be 13 out of the 32 players drafted. Was it 32 players drafted that year? Out of 32 players drafted, 14 between 13 to 14 of them are going to have their fifth-year options declined or have already had their fifth-year options declined. So, and I've said this before, and I've mentioned this on numerous occasions, there's no guarantee that if you're a first rounder, if you're a top 10 pick, that you are going to make the team, that you're going to have the longevity of your NFL career is going to be there. You don't know. The draft is a crapshoot. Guys that we loved, guys that we wanted to see come to the Giants, guys that we were just like, this is going to be so awesome when we have them. Sometimes things just don't work out. And it happens. It could happen via the fact that they had injuries, that they just didn't have the mental fortitude to play in the NFL, because you do need the mental fortitude to play in the NFL as well. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. But to have almost 14, I believe it's going to be 14 out of 32, have their fifth-year options declined. And then I love it because you go into the Giant Twitter sphere, and I know that's probably one of the worst places in the world to possibly go. And any player that had their option declined, we were automatically trading for. And I love it because I see the things on Twitter yesterday. Well, the Baltimore Ravens, breaking news in from the Online Big Blue Center, the Baltimore Ravens have declined their option on Patrick Queen, linebacker, at LSU. And immediately, I roll over to Twitter, and it says that that we should trade for Patrick. We should trade for Patrick. We should give up a 5th-round pick and Darnay Holmes, send it over to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Ravens, of course, traded for and signed Roquan Smith. They also drafted Trent Simpson. So they felt highly enough of Patrick Queen that they decided, well, you know what, we're going to draft Trent Simpson, and we traded for Roquan from the Bears. Smith has not had a bad career in Baltimore. Not what I mean. If you take a look at him, he's played 50 games, started 50 games. He's averaged over 100 tackles, 321 for his career. If you take a look, more than 321. He had 321 combined. And if you take a look at his stats, and I always said the earmark of a good inside linebacker is how many more solo tackles do they have compared to assists. And he has more, like last year, he had 79 solo and 38 assists, which means he's leading the point of attack. This is how this is after Tay Crowder's big season where he had like 150 tackles. Everyone says, we have the next great giant linebacker in Tay Crowder. Just look at all those tackles he had. He had 130 tackles in 2021. 130, started 17 games at 130 tackles. He had 64 solo and 66 assists, which means he was not leading the point of attack, which meant he was the mop-up guy. He was what we would like to refer to as the pile-oner. A pile-oner is a guy that comes in after the play and jumps on the pile and gets credited with an assist. He was not leading the point of attack. So at least Patrick Queen is leading the point of attack, but the problem is you just went out and spent all this money on Bobby Okereke. You just gave Bobby all this cash, and they are very similar players, except I think Bobby is a better option, is a better player. I think Bobby has more sideline-to-sideline speed. I think Bobby understands. Now, Bobby, I will say this at times, I think he needs to learn the game a little bit more, some of the nuances, because he can be fooled, but he makes up for a lot of it with his athletic ability. And like I said, Patrick Queen is not a bad player. He is a good player. But you are then going to be bringing in redundancy on the inside linebacker position when you just went out in free agency and got a guy, which didn't cost you a draft pick. I mean, really? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if people think. Sometimes I truly do wonder if people think. Now, if you are looking to maybe make a trade on an option, a 5th-year option that was declined, you have to You have to maybe look at someone like C.J. Henderson. C.J. Henderson is a defensive back. He was formerly with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was then traded over to the Carolina Panthers. He played 17 games, started 10, 2 interceptions. 58 tackles. Again, he's a guy that we look at, he's got more solo tackles than assists, which means he's leading the point of attack or he's making the play after the catch. He is a big kid. He's 6'1". He is still not learned all, he's 6'1", 204. He's still not learned all the nuances of being a good press cover corner. Came out of Florida. Had some injury histories, but the Carolina Panthers have declined his 5th-year option. If you want to look for a trade, something and similar to that, you maybe go to CJ. Maybe you go drop a 6th-round pick for CJ Henderson. You bring in another corner because we're going to need corners still. Even with Deonte Banks, we're still going to need it. We're still going to need some corners. We're still going to need some quality corners. And so we have to look at it that way. So if you want to make a suggestion, I love it also because Jerry Jeudy's 5th-year option got picked up. That's always been the spank bank father of a lot of Giant fans. Because we were automatically getting them no matter what. But Jerry Jeudy's 5th-year option did not get picked up. Did get picked up. But like I said, I do find it weird that if you take a look at the number of players in this coming, in the 2020 draft whose 5th-year option isn't getting picked up. It's kind of astounding. It's not half, but it's getting close to it is getting close to half. But we all knew that Andrew Thomas was going to get picked up because Andrew Thomas is a player. I don't want to be a player no more. I just crush a lot. I got a video coming up in the next couple days that I'm kind of excited about, and I've been working on it. And that's another thing. I've been trying to get through some things here. I've been working on some things here, and I do think it's going to be an interesting video. And so I want to make sure everyone stays tuned for that. That would probably come out on Friday. Also, the fact that we have. We'll have Sunday Giant with R0B, our Rob on Sunday as well. Talking, we got a lot of good comments, a lot of good feedback on the last live stream with Rob. So I want to make sure we keep up that hype, that energy, that je ne sais quoi that we had going into the video, because it was really a good debate about players, about different positions and things about the draft. So make sure you stay tuned for that on Sunday at Sunday Giants with me and R0B. And we got a lot of other fun stuff and a lot of fun other activities come up. So you know what? Again, this is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk from Online Big Blue LLC. And you know the drill. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell because you know what it means. That'd be awesome.